In this video, let's practice subtracting fractions that have common denominators together. Another way that we can say that we are subtracting is that we are going to find the difference between each of these fractions. Sometimes after we subtract, we can go ahead and simplify as well. We're going to check to see if we have any common factors between the numerators and the denominators. For number one, we have this fraction of 26 thirds, and we're going to be subtracting 16 thirds, so we have a common denominator of 3, so we can go ahead and subtract right away. So we have a common denominator of 3, go ahead and put that down there, and so when we're subtracting fractions with common denominators, we just have to subtract the numerators. So we have 16 that is subtracted from the 26, so 26 minus 16, that's going to equal 10, so we have 10 over, and we keep that common denominator of 3. Now 10 and 3 have nothing in common in terms of their factors, and so this would be the final answer as an improper fraction, but we could also say that 3 fits into 10 3 times, because 3 times 3 is 9, with 1 left over, 1 away from 10, so it's going to be 3 1/3. So we have this version, which is the final simplified version, which is an improper fraction, as well as a mixed number. Both of these are good answers. Okay, let's take a look at number 2. For number 2, we have this 37/8, and we're going to go ahead and subtract 15/8. Okay, so we have common denominators of 8 here. So let's go ahead and draw a fraction bar and keep that denominator of 8. And we have 37 minus the 15. Okay, so 37 minus 15, I believe, is going to be 22. So we're going to have a numerator of 22 and a denominator of 8 here. Now, if we're going to go ahead and simplify this, let's go ahead and see. I think there is a common factor between 22 and 8 because they're both even numbers. Now, 22 is equivalent to 2 times 11. That's its prime factorization. 8 is the same thing as 2 times 2 times 2. So you can see here that they have common factors of 2 on top and bottom, which makes sense. They're both even numbers. And so if we simplify this, we're going to have 11 on top, and then on bottom, 2 times 2 is going to be 4. So we can say this is 11/4. And if we want to turn this into a mixed number, we can say, well, 4 fits into 11 2 times, because 2 times 4 is 8. That's 3 away from 11, so the remainder is 3. So we can say 2 3/4. Here's number 3. For number 3, we have this fraction of 45/4, and we're going to be taking away this 24/4. Okay, so we have common denominators of 4 here, so let's go ahead and just keep that the same. Let's go ahead and subtract the numerators. We have 45 minus the 24. What is 45 minus 24? Well, on the bottom, let's just keep that 4 the same, common denominator. 45 minus 24, I think, is going to be 21. Let's go ahead and put 21 on the numerator. Now, 21 and 4 have nothing in common. Their GCF is 1, so we could leave this as our final answer. Or we can say 4 goes into 21 5 times, because 5 times 4 is 20, with a remainder of 1, so it's going to be 5 1/4 as a mixed number. For number 4, we have 36/5, and we're going to be taking away 26/5, so we have common denominator of 5 here. Let's go ahead and just put a 5 on the bottom. In the numerators, let's go ahead and take 36 and 26 and find the difference, or subtract them. 36 minus this 26 is going to be 10, so we're going to have 10/5. Now, in terms of can this be simplified? Well, 5 goes into 10 perfectly 2 times, so this is going to be really 2 over 1, or 2 wholes. Or you can say 10 divided by 5 is really just 2. So in this case, the answer is just a whole number of 2. Here's number 5. For number 5, we have 58/7, and we're going to be taking away this 33/7. So we have our common denominator of 7. Let's go ahead and put that on the bottom. And let's go ahead and find the difference between 58 and this 33. So what is 58 minus 33? Well, 58 minus 33, I believe, is going to be 25, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go ahead and put a 25 on top. 25 and 7, you can think about common factors they have, but I can't think of anything, so that would be our final answer as an improper fraction. Or you can say, as a mixed number, 7 goes into 25 3 times, because 3 times 7 is 21, which is 4 away from 25, so we're going to say it's going to be 4/7. That's going to be the remaining part there as a mixed number. For number 6, it looks like we have 47/10. Let's go ahead and take away 22/10. We have a common denominator of 10, so it makes it easy enough to subtract. And so we have 47 minus the 22. 47 minus 22, what's that going to be? Well, I think that's going to be 25, okay? And 25 and 10, I think they do have common factors, so this can be simplified. So 25, if we want to check, we have 5 times 5. And then for 10, its prime factorization is going to be 2 times 5. So hopefully that makes sense why you can divide these both by 5. They have that common factor here. And so simplifying this, we can say that our final answer is going to be 5/2 as an improper fraction, or as a mixed number, you can say this is going to be 2 1/2. So either one of these would be okay. Here is number 7. For number 7, we have this 39/6. We're going to go ahead and take away 27/6. And so let's see, we have common denominators of 6. Let's put that on the bottom. On top, we have 39, and we're going to be taking away this 27. So 39 minus 27, that's going to be on top. Let's put the 6 on bottom. 39 minus 27, I believe, is going to be 12. Let's go ahead and put a 12 up here. Now 12 is actually a multiple of 6, or 6 is a factor of 12, so this goes in evenly. This is just going to be 2 over 1. That's 2 wholes, so as a simplified whole number, this is just going to be 2 wholes. Okay. For number 8, we have 17/2, and we're going to be taking away 14/2. So we have a common denominator of 2. Let's go ahead and put the 2 on bottom and subtract 17 minus 14. Now 17 minus 14 is really just 3, so we have 3 over 2, which is our most simplified answer here, but as a mixed number, this is going to be 1 1/2, just because 3/2 is the same thing as 1 1/2. Alright, here is number 9. For number 9, we have 47/3, and we're taking away 29 of these thirds. So we're dealing with thirds here. That's our common denominator. Put that on bottom. Let's go ahead and take 47 minus that 29. What is 47 minus 29? Well, let's see. Let's keep the common denominator of 3. That's always going to stay the same here. And 47 minus 29 is going to be 18, so we have 18/3. Now, can this be simplified? Well, I think so, because 3 is a factor of 18, or 18 is a multiple of 3. So if we go ahead and divide these both by 3, we're going to get 6 on top and 1 on bottom. Now, 6 over 1 is just 6 wholes, so this is just a whole number here. It just happens to be 1. Okay. For number 10, we have 34/4 and 26/4. So we're going to be going ahead and taking away fourths here. And so our common denominator is, of course, this 4. And we're going to take this 34 and take away this 26. So common denominator of 4, let's keep it the same. In terms of what you get when you subtract here, 34 minus 26, I believe, is 8. So this one's actually kind of similar to the last one, where 4 goes into 8, or 8's a multiple of 4. We can divide these both by 4. If we do that, we're going to get 2 on top, and we're going to get 1 on bottom. So this is actually a whole number as well, which is going to be 2 wholes. Let's check out number 11. For number 11, we have 58/3, and we're going to take away 29/3. So let's go ahead and subtract these. Our common denominator is going to be 3. On the top, we have 58 minus 29, so we're going to find the difference of those two numbers and put that over 3. Now, 58 minus 29, I believe, is just 29, because if you double 29, that's 58. This is actually our final answer as an improper fraction, because 29 and 3 are both prime and their GCF is 1. So if you want a mixed number, though, 3 times, I believe, 9 is 27, which puts us 2 away from 29, so it has a remainder of 2. So we have 9 2/3 if you want the mixed number instead. For number 12, we have this 24/3, which is actually a whole number. It's just 8. We're going to be taking away 18/3, which is actually also a whole number, which is just 6. So it's really 8 minus 6. So the answer should be 2 here, right? So a little spoiler alert. But if we want to go ahead and write the same algorithm so it's very clear to see if this lines up, hopefully it makes sense. 24 minus 18, that's going to be 6. So 6/3. That is 6 divided by 3. So we can cut these and divide these both by 3. We're going to get 2/1, which is really just 2. Okay, so this is a whole number of 2 here, and that kind of made sense from the beginning, hopefully. Here's number 13. For number 13, we have 53/6, and we're taking away 37/6. So we have a common denominator of 6 here. Let's go ahead and put that on the bottom. And then on the top, let's take this 53, and let's take away 37. Okay, so we're going to find the difference. Of course, we have a common denominator of 6 here. Now 53 minus 37, I believe, is 16. So we're going to put 16/6. These are both even numbers, so we can divide them both by 2. If you want to see the prime factorization, 16 is really 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And that 6 on bottom is really 2 times 3. So we can confirm, yes, we can divide these both by 2. And that makes sense because they're both even numbers. On top here, 2 times 2 times 2 is going to be 8. And on the bottom, we just have a 3. So 8/3 would be our most simplified improper fraction. But as a mixed number, 3 goes into 8 2 times, with 2 left over. So I believe 2 2/3 would be the mixed number version for this difference, or the answer to a subtraction problem. For number 14, we have 48 over 9, and we're going to be taking away 36 over 9. So ninths are going to be our common denominator here. So let's find the difference between 48 and 36. Now, I think 48 minus 36 is just going to be 12. Let's go ahead and put a 12 on top there. And I think 12 and 9 have a common factor, right? So feel free to pause to think about it, but I think 12 breaks into 2 times 6, and 6 breaks into 2 times 3, and 9 breaks into 3 times 3. So are there any common factors? Well, yeah, I think they both have a 3, so we can cross those out. Divide them both by 3. On top, 2 times 2 will be 4, and on bottom, we just have a 3. So our answer here is 4/3 as an improper, but as a mixed, we can say this is going to be 1 and 1/3. That would be our answer as a mixed number. Here are the last two. For number 15, we have this 46 over 3, and we have this 28 over 3. So let's go ahead and subtract these. Of course, our common denominator here is going to be 3. And let's go ahead and find the difference between 46 and 28. Okay, so what is 46 minus 28? I think that's going to be 18. So it's going to be 18 over this 3. Now it's 18 over 3. Hopefully it looks familiar. 3 times 6 is 18, so we can divide these both by 3, and we get 6 over 1, or 6 wholes. And so this actually simplifies to a whole number as well, of just 6. All right. Finally, for number 16, we have 51 eighths, and we're going to take away 37 of these eighths. So our common denominator here is 8. And let's go ahead and take this 51 and take away 37. 51 minus this 37 is going to be 14, so we're going to have 14 over 8. And this can be simplified because they're both even numbers. So if you want to see that, 14 is really 2 times 7, and 8 is equivalent to 2 times 2 times 2. So they have a common factor of 2, which makes sense because they're both even numbers. And so if you simplify this, it's going to be 7 over 2 times 2, which is 4. This would be our answer as an improper fraction, but as a mixed number, we can say this is going to be 1 and 3/4. All right, so there you have 16 different practice problems where we went ahead and subtracted fractions that had common denominators. Some of them we can turn into mixed numbers, as well as some could be simplified if there were common factors between the numerator and denominator. If you found this video helpful, please consider giving it a thumbs up and sharing with a classmate or friend who might also find it helpful. And as always, keep up the great work that you're already doing, and I'll see you in the next one.